Wake the fuck up!
I'm like tired. We're recording earlier than usual. I guess that's not why. It's probably just because I've been sleeping intermittently through the night. I'll be up and then asleep, and then I don't know how to fix that either.
I think we've recorded this early before, I want to say.
We have, yeah. But episode 5. We're on 5 here. It'll be the second one that we've had in December now.
Yes, sir. Number 2.
November flew by. It was way too quick.
Yeah, that's facts.
I did not realize that Thanksgiving fell that late in the month, I guess, and then before I knew it, it was December, and now we're, as of today, 20 days from Christmas, so just under 3 weeks. It'll be even less by the time we post this.
It definitely feels like November went by very fast, but maybe that's because November was just busy for me with school and stuff.
I think that's what it is once we get to the end of the year, the last 2 or 3 months are just super busy, and there's just always stuff going on.
Yeah, that's facts.
But I was gonna start off talking about what is it? Across the Spider-Verse, right?
Yes, sir.
Across
the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Part 1. As much as we try to get away from him, we cannot. There's just always something about Spider-Man. Every week, it seems like. I love this movie, the first one. I'm pretty sure you're in the same boat.
Yeah, it's a top 5 superhero movie ever, in my opinion.
Well, I think that's the thing, too. This kind of started me on watching more, superhero animated movies. I'd never seen an animated Batman movie or any of that stuff. And then I watched this because I love Miles Morales. And I love Jake Johnson, and I saw that he was the voice of the, original Peter Parker Spider-Man guy in the movie. But I loved it. It's such a good movie. And I wanted to bring up because right when I saw the trailer, my first thought was I need to watch it. And I love it so much because Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2099 are my 2 favorite iterations of Spider-Man. So obviously that was my first thought, was this is really, really cool, and I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait till they release more. But then the Wilson Fisk meme popped in my head and just showed I don't know how long lasting and good the movie was in parts of it, and the animation style and the voice acting. If you don't know the clip I'm talking about, you have to look up Wilson Fisk, Let's Go Mets, and it's the huge Wilson Fisk from Into the Spider-Verse, and it's just, he says the line, he's like, "It's not always about the money, Spider-Man." And then he's got that great New York accent, and he just goes, "It's about the Mets, baby. The Let's Go Mets. Get a home run."
Yeah. I don't know, because it's not that recent, but I also don't think it's that old of a clip. I'm not 100% sure, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's not within the past few months, but it's definitely when did Into the Spider-Verse even come out originally?
2018, I want to say.
Was it?
Let me double check so I don't make a fool of myself here.
No, you were correct. 2018.
Nice.
You can watch it on Sling TV if you've got a premium subscription, or rent it.
Sling TV.
Yeah, Sling. Or a premium subscription for Hulu. I feel like that's probably more prevalent. It used to be on Netflix. I watched it a ton when they had it on Netflix, but yeah, I like that movie a lot. So that video probably came out in maybe 2020 or early 2021. So it had been 2 or 3 years since the movie came out. Yeah. And it's still that prevalent that new stuff was being made. I loved the everything artistically about it too. The music in it I like a lot. I still have stuff from the soundtrack in my playlists, like Sunflower by Post Malone. Oh, what else? The art style itself, like I was talking about, Wilson Fisk As always, you see in any like media that he's been in, he's this big guy, so they like overdo it in the movie, and it makes it like that much more cool. I think, in my opinion, and I like all the art styles. John Mulaney's Spider-Ham definitely doesn't do anything to hurt the movie, only helps it. I loved that role. I remember, I thought it was just going to be a joke, but I actually ended up like liking his character. He was really good.
Yeah, Spider-Ham was a classic, an all-time classic for me in that one. But yeah, I just got reminded now that I look this up, like when you look up for something like a movie to watch, and then you get this like watch now, and it's always like some cable thing that nobody has, like fucking Sling TV.
Yeah, that's usually what it is.
That just annoys me a ton.
Sometimes it's like the free ones though, like it'll say like Shudder or something, Peacock TV with a free subscription. You need to watch 20 hours of Peacock TV this week.
Dude, I hate it when I go to the doctor and he prescribes me fucking Shudder, the shitty horror streaming service.
You have to watch one Shudder horror movie if you want to get over this cold. And you're like, I'll just write it out.
Doc, I don't think it's that bad. I'm not downloading the app.
It's not worth it.
You're not gonna get me.
I don't know if I've gotten any of the free ones before. I think Vudu, that's what I do, is I download the ones where it's like pay if you want premium movies, like movies that, like specific ones you can only get with a paid subscription, and you still have to watch ads if you don't pay. But there's still like once in a while there's good movies. Like Peacock is my best example of that. Like they had a lot of horror Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, all that stuff they had, but it was with the free version, so like you had ads and they only came up, well, it was probably every like 20 minutes. But it's not any worse than watching it on TV. So
yeah, that's fair enough,
that.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever do like Hulu Premium. I don't think I would ever pay for that because it's pretty much just wanting to watch it without ads.
Hulu Premium isn't that like the live TV service with it?
It'd be live TV. There's certain stuff that you can only watch with that subscription. I guess it's kind of the same thing as Peacock, but in my mind, I'm already paying for Hulu. I don't want to pay more. It's probably the exact same principle as Peacock TV. It's just that I'm already paying for Hulu, so it's like I don't want to give you more money. Just let me have it now.
Yeah, dude, TV streaming is like fucked up now.
Yeah, ever since.
There's so much.
How long ago was it that like Peacock and I think it started? Did it start with Apple TV? And then everything just kind of started piling on. Paramount Plus, Peacock TV. Maybe it was Peacock.
I'm not sure. I think Apple TV came first out of those. But like, yeah, it feels like everyone can have a subscription service. And like Apple's not even an entertainment company, really.
I feel like
they're not like in the traditional sense.
I understand what you mean. It's like they're getting into a medium that they're not already in. They just make devices. Yeah. They weren't making the actual. There is some their stuff all looks really big budget though, that I've seen or heard of. Like, there's that show with James Momoa, whether it's C or something. There's, I think it's called The Morning Show, with I think it's Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell was in at least the first season. The one with Jason Sudeikis. I'm mad I can't remember the name of that one because that one's like
Ted Lasso, dude.
Ted Lasso, yeah.
Can't remember Ted Lasso.
I didn't. That is their big hitter though. That's the one I always hear about. The one I always hear about, and you would think it would be The Morning Show because it's got all their big those bigger names in it. And the only big name I've heard from Ted Lasso is Jason Sudeikis, and I really hadn't seen him in anything since We're the Millers.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's one other one. The only one they have that they almost got me with was what was it? It was Boys State, like the documentary about that and it was like a Texas boys state thing. That looked kind of cool.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
It wasn't enough to get me in.
Yeah,
but
you said
I was almost there.
One more thing, and maybe. I've been watching, I didn't want to get off I had one more point I wanted. Oh, Peacock TV. Peacock TV was the one who really made it go downhill, I think, because they had a bunch of stuff that was on other streaming services that they started pulling for theirs. Like The Office, Parks and Rec. I think Friends might not be on there. Friends is on one of them. And then they did their weird thing where it's like, well, you can get seasons like 1 through however much for free, but then you have to pay for the rest of it. And they're all going to have ads. So it's like, well...
Yeah, where they messed up was thinking that people were going to completely uproot their current streaming habits.
Right.
Just for that.
I'm sure there was probably a chunk, but there's no way it was anything like surmountable, you know?
Yeah, no. It was definitely not worth the money they lost by just not letting Netflix have it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Plus now having to maintain their own service that nobody is subscribing to. I don't know a single motherfucker subscribed to Peacock.
I don't think I know anybody who's subscribed to it either. I just know people... Actually, I don't even think I've talked to anyone else who was in my situation where they used the free version. I think people just don't have it. I don't know. I think you were right. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that really they could have just kept it with the Netflix, had to give them the copyright, and then not mess with maintaining a service. Whereas now they took however many shows off of there, and now they have a service that they have to upkeep and maintain. And I don't even think that they make new content. It's probably just whatever is on the old boob tube they upload to Peacock the next day.
They have some Peacock originals. I
don't
remember anything about them, which is very telling.
Yeah, let's
see. Peacock original programming.
Actually, I know they did the Friends special or whatever.
No, that was HBO Max even.
Wait, really? Oh my gosh, that's very sad.
There's AP Bio, a new season is on there. There's probably 5 people out there who are fucking popping off about that.
Yeah, let us know if you're an AP Bio fan.
Let's see. Psych 3. I guess a new Psych movie. I think that's a series that used to be semi-popular.
Yeah, I remember seeing reruns of it on TBS. I think they used to have commercials for it. I never watched an episode, but...
A new season of Saved by the Bell.
Okay, anybody who watched Saved by the Bell is probably 5 years older than us.
True, yeah.
I don't know. I've watched a few episodes. They had it on Netflix. It's just too cringeworthy to watch. It's how can a person be as self-absorbed as Zach Morris and keep getting away with it? At one point, you have to realize, you have to be this guy's very toxic to our friend group. He does not treat women well. The one episode I watched, I started to watch, I can watch them when they're younger, because it's oh, he's a kid. But I watched an episode of, when they're in college, and there's some girl that he's trying to get to go out with him, right? And she finally agrees to go out with him, and they've kissed and everything before, and then his ex-girlfriend comes to that college, and she's we should get back together. He's yeah, we should. So then there's this whole scene that ensues where he has his ex-girlfriend, I think, is in their dorm. By the way, this is the weirdest part of the whole thing to me, I think. There's a door to the common room between these two dorms. So it's dorm, and then there's a door, common room, and then door, and the dorm right next to it, right? So the one dorm is all the boys, Zach Morris, Screech, and AC Slater. And then the other dorm on the other side of the common room is 3 girls. It's or I think it ends up being 4. Zach's ex-girlfriend, the girl he's trying to get with now, and then the two other girls. So it's a whole scene that ensues where his ex-girlfriend is in their dorm, and then the girl he's trying to get with is in the girls' dorm. And this is like really late at night, mind you. It's probably like midnight or 1 a.m. or something. And so he makes all of the girls in the opposite dorm, and Screech and Slater, all go into the common room when they're trying to sleep. So he can run back and forth and try to break up with each girl, but he doesn't break up with either one of them and stays together with both of them. And that's, I think, the whole premise of that season of them at college is him trying to decide which girl he wants to be with and try to be a good guy and also try to graduate college. Like, I don't know.
Wacky.
That was a lot to unload on someone who's probably never seen an episode of...
Nope.
Yeah, that's... Mario Lopez is in it as AC Slater, and I love his character. And Screech is just this bumbling, fumbling idiot who is hilarious. I can't remember what his actual name is. I know they've said it in the show, but 90% of the time they just call him Screech. Which would have to be terrible as a child. To just be called Screech by your friends.
Yeah, that's... Dude, I've just been looking through these shows.
I was spouting off about Saved by the Bell.
The takeaway for me is that this is the mom streaming service.
Ah, yes. They have a laugh track.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They give you permission to laugh, so you know it's pretty good.
Oh, those shows and cowboy shows she loves.
True. Yeah, there's also like multiple shows with Kevin Hart and multiple shows with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg I can get behind because some of the stuff he does is fun. Like watching him do like play-by-play and stuff is awesome. But yeah, Kevin Hart, I had my fill of him when he was in like every comedy. Whatever year that Jumanji and Central Intelligence, I think it was called, with him and The Rock. I can watch like 15 minutes of those movies and be like, this wasn't made for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
This was made for someone who wants to just melt into their chair and watch big names try to be funny. I'm not about that. But some people are, and they know their niche. The guys who make those movies, so good for them.
Exactly.
Gotta know your audience. I had a really long week this week, dude.
Yeah?
Lots of work. Put in like 50 hours. Do you know those people who are like, they're like bag chasers, I think is technically the technical term for them now? Who will
bag chasers?
Yeah, people who will put in like any amount of hours, work at any time, just because they want to get paid really, really well.
Yeah, Dan. His name's Parker Johnson.
Are you one of those guys now?
Not really. No, I definitely work more hours than I probably should during school weeks. But
yeah, I get that. No, that's how I was at my old job. I would work like 50 or 60 hours a week, and I had people telling me to stay there because like it's good pay. And I'm not knocking people who can do that, because there's definitely people who can do that. They can work like 50, 60 hours a week and they love the money, and like that's good for you. But there's definitely also that camp that I eventually got into after however many months of people telling me that it's good money and I should just make money while I'm young. I was like, well, like I kind of want to do things too. like I want to be able to spend time with my family and just be able to like go into my job and work my job 40 hours or maybe like 45, work a few hours overtime here and there every once in a while, but then just be able to enjoy life. I don't know why, but I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that this week because we've got a guy who's out. He's been out for a few weeks because he just had a kiddo. So we just kind of pick up the slack. That kind of stuff I don't mind every once in a while, but like, I just thought about my old job, and I had a lot of people tell me that you know, like it's always good to get money, and for people who do like to chase the bag, you know, get that bag, but as long as it's not like at the cost of your health or like time with your loved ones. Everyone's got different priorities, you know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to be out of college and done working retail because I kind of hate having such inconsistent hours.
Yeah, that does stink sometimes. That was one thing I didn't love about grocery. Most places that I worked were really, really flexible because I did it in high school. But yeah, at a place where you're at, like, you can really work just like overnights or mornings or during the day, and they'll just schedule you like whenever.
Yeah, it's kind of a roulette type thing, you know. You never know, but
That would be really tough. I couldn't do that. I always had. Well, I suppose when we're on the topic of working, I've got mad props. I know you started to do it this year for people who can work overnights. I could never do that, dude.
well, don't give me too much credit. It was fucking like 5 nights, dude. There's people who do that shit all the time.
That's true. Yeah, there's people who like that's just their job. It seems like factory work especially, they'll have you going for overnights, and it's better pay and everything, but it's tough. I guess if you can get on that schedule, and you can still kind of live your life on that schedule, then you know go for it. If that's your thing, that's definitely not for me though. I'm early morning type guy. I can get up at like 5 or 4, but not working like 8 at night until like 4 in the morning. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, once I got used to it, I didn't mind it that much. But also, I didn't have, like, any social life whatsoever for those 3, 4 nights, whatever, however many days it was. I don't even really remember, but...
Right, I think that's what it is. I think that's what always, like, scared me about it. Is, like, if I got too into the routine of it, then, like, I'd be afraid, like, Christmases and any time I would be going to see family, I would just be, like conked out in the corner or something because I couldn't hang. Because I was up from, like, 8 until 4. It would be... I feel like it'd be hell to get your internal clock onto that, and then even worse to get it off.
The one thing it made sense for me that I saw was, like, motherfuckers with kids. Because then you, like, sleep while they're at school. And
okay.
When they are off school, you're up. I mean, you don't really get much time with your wife that way, but, like...
I always...
kids, you know.
Oh my gosh, I got a sneeze building.
Ooh.
Well, this is the first time this has happened.
Pause.
Oh my gosh. I have nerves of steel.
Resist it?
I did, yeah. I pushed it back. I said no. I think that's the first time I've ever done that. I don't like the way that felt.
Yeah, it's the worst. I always, like, try to make it happen. Like, I take matters into my own hands.
I think that's even worse. I'll do everything that I can. I'll shine a bright light on me and look into the light and tickle myself under my nose with a feather. You usually always have one on me. But that's I would say that's the even worse feeling. I can like trying to hold it back felt terrible, but trying to push it out when it won't come out is even worse. That's awful. But anyways, yeah, back to like you had said. I had always kind of wondered about that, how people do it when they have kids, but that actually makes sense. Once they're at like school age, there's that whole like 8:30 until like 3 o'clock. If you're going to pick them up, I suppose. Otherwise, you got till 3:30, where you can just like nap.
Yeah, my sleep schedule was like I was sleeping like 7 to 2, about.
Oh, that's bonkers to me, dude. I couldn't do that.
Dude, there's a fucking ladybug crawling across my screen right now. What are you doing here, brother?
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. He's trying to watch. He's trying to listen to the podcast.
He's trying to listen, dude.
Yeah.
He can listen on the fucking Spotify link later then, alright? Like
This is a private recording session. Please leave, sir.
No, did I tell you about the ladybug issue we had in my apartment?
No, that sounds. You calling it a ladybug issue sounds scary.
So, my roommate has like string lights, or not really string lights, like the strip lights going across, like the top of the ceiling in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And he like peels the lights back a little bit, and there is like 15 probably ladybugs
Oh my
like
gosh.
chilling back there.
Are they alive or are they dead?
They are alive, or they were alive. We've solved
You have
solved
since
the
disposed.
issue. We put it into our own hands. Yeah.
My
But
gosh.
the thing that really bothers me about it is that every month we have a visit from pest control, and literally we still had like an infestation in our apartment.
That is that's scary to me. That they have to have pest control come by every month.
Well, it's not really that they have to. I mean, it's nice to have like.
They just want to.
Yeah, I guess. Shit. I mean, if somebody told you, "Hey, we're gonna come kill all the bugs in your apartment every month, and you don't have to pay for it," I mean,
Oh yeah,
would
no,
you
no,
say
no.
yes? Exactly.
Yeah. I would say. Wait, are you saying that the landlord wants to, or you're saying pest control wants to?
The landlord, I think, does it.
I thought you were saying like the pest control. They're like, can we please come by your apartment system?
Yeah, dude, we're their practice runs. They love us.
Probably that's like the training. Guys fresh into the program. I just meant like it seems weird to me that they have them come in every month. The place I stayed at, like, we never had pest control. They like never came by the building, which is kind of how I liked it. But then also,
Yeah.
I guess there's more of a tendency for people to like get away with stuff and do stuff that you don't want them to.
Did you ever have any bug problems in your apartment without pest control?
No, but there's the cat problem.
The cat problem.
I guess it wasn't really a problem. That was just funny. The day you were there with me, the day that I moved out, there was like it's like a no pet apartment, and then we just started hearing meowing, and then the lady across from the hall just walked out with her cat. Did I tell you she asked me if I was gonna tell our landlord?
No, you didn't tell me
Yeah,
about that.
she walks up to me. She's like, so you probably heard and saw the cat? And I was like, and I hadn't ever seen it up to that day anyways. I wouldn't have said anything because it never bothered me. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I saw him and heard him. She's like, are you going to say anything? I was like, no, I'm moving out today. I'm gone. Oh, gosh.
Dude, what kind of person do you have to be to take a landlord's side over, like, one of your other tenants, man?
Yeah, that was the thing. There was stuff that, like, annoyed me. Like, our hallway would usually smell like weed. And that, it didn't bother me most of the time, but there was times where it, like I could smell it in my apartment. Like, if I had the door closed and everything, and I hadn't been outside all day or anything, like it was a day off, I'm just playing video games, all of a sudden I start smelling weed. I never told the landlord, and I never would have told the landlord, but I was like, this is just kind of annoying. Like, if I want to smell weed, I'll smoke weed.
You would have been a real bitch if you would have told the landlord, Dan. It's just how it is.
Slither and I'll be like, I know this guy who's smoking weed. No. I don't know what type of a person you would have to be to actually, like, go out of your... Especially if it's not doing you any harm, when you can kind of just complain about it to yourself anyways, the way that I did. I don't know why you would go out of your way to tell your landlord. It does not benefit you, and it definitely does not benefit the person who is doing the action.
You just bitch to yourself a little bit, and then you let it go, and then it's over.
Exactly. Yeah. You're turning what could have been like 15 minutes of you just fuming to yourself or your friend into like a few day long fiasco of like you telling the landlord, her coming in and probably sitting you and the person down to try and figure out what happens, and then you potentially kicking somebody out of somewhere that they're renting, in my position, relatively cheap, for either them to be like without a home or having to pay an extra however many like dollars a month. Probably however many hundreds of dollars a month. Have you seen these weird? You've probably seen them because you're in a college town. I guess they're not really weird. They're probably more the norm these days. Apartment buildings where they have like they've got like the common room and the movie room, the place with like the fitness room, like weights and treadmill and all that stuff, and like some of them will have like indoor pools and that kind of stuff. And then you get like a studio apartment, it costs you like $800.
Yeah, our apartment isn't really like that. Ours is more like a traditional type thing. But there's so many that just have amenities like that to fucking try and get like suckering college students in to stay there.
Right.
And usually they're either A, very far from campus, or B, like obscenely expensive.
Yeah, that's what I hate about them. Is that like they're still like really nice apartments. I would say like for a single, they could probably charge like $750 or $800 around here. That's for a single, not for like a studio. But then they charge you like the extra $100 or $200 a month because like even if you don't use them, you have access to all those amenities. So it's just they're like a loophole way to make it make sense for you to spend that much money.
There was one that we almost decided to stay in that had like a whole ass gym. Not like a rec center type thing, but just like a basketball gym.
Yeah.
Which,
that would have been kind of nice.
Yeah, but see, this is how they get you, Dan. You say,
That's true.
That'd be kind of nice. And then you live there, and then you get charged fucking $900 for rent in the Midwest, which is insanity.
Yeah. And then you're in your 6 month of staying there, and you're like, I've used that gym, like, I used it like 5 days, and that were the first 5 days that we lived here.
And then you already renewed your lease because college town landlords try to get you to renew when you, like, have not even been living there for that long.
Yeah, that really, really sucks. Just like anywhere, that there's places that will get you like pay sign year leases, where like if you move out at a certain time, either you don't get your deposit back, or you might have to pay rent for the rest of the months anyway, since you already paid or like signed the lease. I hate that because like you never know what's gonna happen. You haven't lived in this place at all, so you don't know like really what it's like. Obviously, the landlord's going to show it to you at its best too.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It just sucks because you never 100% know what you're signing up for, and the fact that you're like they would try and make you. I feel like year leases instead of month to month or even just like 3 or 4 month lease places are like really suspicious. Because it's like, why are you wanting me to sign away a year of my money right now? Like, what's up with this place?
Well, that's, like, everywhere, Dan.
No, yeah, that's true.
For year leases, yeah. Like, our first lease here was a year lease, and then we ended up renewing for another year. So, if we move out before July 2023, we probably still have to pay our rent through that amount of time.
It's crazy. It sucks. Because I know, from a business standpoint, like, I guess it makes sense, but from a humanity standpoint, it kind of sucks.
Well, I don't know about your places where you live, but, like, we just have, like, a bunch of corporations. It's not even landlords. Like...
Oh, these are huge, like, conglomerates that, or corporations or something.
Yeah, I don't know about huge, but like the person giving you your tour at like more than half of the properties you go to are just like a guy who works for the company.
Dang.
But like here we actually like know our landlord shit, so that's kind of nice.
That is, yeah. That's how it was at my. Oh, some places are like. What is it? Like there'll be like, I think it's like Ergamo Real Estate, Egamo, whatever it is. There's a lady who works there and sells houses, and she's a landlord. I'm pretty sure there's a couple other people at housing companies that do that, but like, there's also people who just like work other jobs and then have. That's what mine was. She worked a different job, and then her and her husband also owned property, so they rent it out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you can get in that position, it's good money. I would say it's passive income, but it's not really. You have to figure out like a lot of stuff. You have to maintain the electric or all the. Well, I guess you don't always have to do that. I guess sometimes the tenant pays the utilities, but like having to get the lawn mowed and all that. Even if you have the tenant take care of all that, you still have to stop by every once in a while to make sure they're not absolutely destroying the place. That would be, I think with my house, that's the reason that I want to eventually sell it and not just keep it and rent it out, is because it would be way too much to just like constantly keep an eye on the place.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But
you mean you're not living in that house your whole life, Dan?
No, I'm gonna farm eventually. Hopefully move out closer to the farm at some point in life. It'd be nice.
Fate worse than death.
You really don't like small towns, do you?
No.
That's your cancelable thing.
Maybe it's just because that's my cancelable thing. I think I'm in pretty good shape then.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's. Dude, there's just people who prefer either. Like there was, what was it? One of my friends I was hanging out with, her boyfriend. I met him for the first time, and he's like, "There's really not much to do in this town, is there?" I was like, "Well, there's more to do than like where I came from." I was like, "I just kind of lived out on a farm. We'd build snow forts a lot of the time, but that's a winter only activity. So you kind of had to find stuff to do during the summer." And he's like, he was from like I think it was West Des Moines, and he said like even moving to Ames, there just like seemed like there was less stuff to do. And he said he was doing an interview at Iowa Central, or like a tour. He was thinking about playing football here, and he asked the coach, he's like, "What is there to do for fun in the town then, like during off season when we don't have like practice or anything?" He's like, "Every once in a while I'll take the guys out to Pizza Ranch after a game." And then all the guys on the football team were like, "Yeah, it's actually pretty fun." And he's like, "What is there to actually do?" He's like, "Cut the crap." He's like, "What do you guys have for bars? What do you guys have for that kind of stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, we don't really have much."
Yep.
There is nothing. So, but he goes to Iowa State now. He's a bouncer at AJ's. I was like, I knew you looked familiar. I figured you were a guy who took my cover one weekend or something.
Yeah, dude. I think a lot of me liking cities better than the small town is my lack of like for driving and my lack of ability at driving.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Having been in the car with you, I understand.
If I go somewhere with public transport and I get to never have to drive a car again, dude, I'm living.
That'll be the life.
I'm living the life.
No, I am the complete opposite. I love driving. I hate large crowds of people. If I can just live out on the farm, middle of nowhere, make a trip into town every once in a while, I'll be happy. I was kind of the thinking growing up where I thought I was gonna like living in a town or a city a lot more, because then you wouldn't have to drive places. But really, it just makes things. It gives me too easy of access to everything, so I spend too much money on stuff.
Well, that's just because you're a consumer, Dan.
Yeah. I was gonna say I could also curb that just with having self-control, but that's not an option. I have to find a way to shoehorn Logan into the show. We talk about it every episode. We were talking with him about that. What did he say? We were talking about having him on for an episode, and he was talking about he's like It's like, I kind of just want to remain like this mysterious, shadowy figure.
You just mention him every once in a while.
Yeah. Just mention him in the episodes, and like he's not ever on. He had his concert last night, didn't he?
Yeah, I went there, dude.
How was it?
Hour and a half drive. It was pretty good.
Good.
There was some stuff you could tell it was like a quirky theater kid moments.
Oh god.
It was a good time. And you know, it's been a while since I've seen like any live shit like that really. So
sure. When did they get done performing then?
When did the concert get over?
Yeah.
It was 2 hours long, I want to say.
I need a watch time, Parker, on the clock.
Watch time? It was 2 hours, Dan.
No, I just wanted to figure out because I was going to talk about how long it takes to like tear all that stuff down.
Oh, it was over at like 9:30.
Okay, so he sent us a message and said they were done tearing down and everything at 1:30. So was that 4 hours?
Yeah.
That's always
a big set, dude.
I know, but I was just gonna say that's always my least favorite part, especially for him with how much like they performed in a short period of time. Because they had the performance on Friday, and then a matinee and a performance on Saturday.
Yeah, there was 2 on Saturday.
Yeah, I would. You're already so tired. And then just having to tear everything down for however long. That was always my least favorite part of doing musicals, too. Is like you get called back on well, if we were in high school, you at least had the night to sleep. You'd sleep through until like Sunday morning after a cast party and then just go tear stuff down. But when we did stuff at college, you did it like right then and there. So everybody... Oh, you get done with the performance, you talk to family and everybody because, I mean, they drove however far for a lot of kids. So they talked for like an hour or two. And then it took us, our sets were always huge. So it took like 6 or 7 hours. Because we were tearing everything down. And then we were taking stuff back to like party productions and like the sheds that they had on campus. So by the time we were done, and musical always fell on daylight savings time. So we would spring forward. I hated that. So we would get done at 3 o'clock in the morning, but then it was really like 4 in the morning. And I had a half an hour drive back to Gowrie. I hated that. That was always my least favorite part of musical. I loved musical, but I could always do without that.
Yeah. I mean, I only had that in high school, so it was at a much smaller scale. But
right, our sets were never too big in high school.
our sets were like a few painted pieces of cardboard for a background.
Always the same ones each show too.
Well, yeah, you just had to repaint it a little bit.
I will give that to them. I'll give it to Southeast Valley. They could really reuse.
I guess. I mean, I don't know if that's something to give it up for.
I mean, I would say it's positive because you save money, but I mean, of course, being in the music department, I always wish we would have had nicer stuff.
Yeah, we should have just had more money, I think.
Yeah, true.
That's what I would have done.
We also didn't really... No, we raised... Did we raise money, or was it just always for the trip?
I usually went to the trip.
When are we going to tell that story, the St. Louis story? Are we going to save that?
That's a guest episode story, Dan.
That is a guest episode story, yeah.
That's a big story.
Should we save that for, like if we have Robert on?
Rob, yeah.
We'll save that. If you're listening, Big Bird, we'll save that one for you. We can relive that.
What a time.
What a time to be alive.
Usually we talk about like movies and games and stuff, but I haven't really watched or played much.
I just beat Ratchet and Clank, but that's an old game.
Ratchet and Clank,
What a
like the Rift Apart one?
Yeah, Rift Apart.
Dude,
What a
that's
beauty-
like
If you,
this year. That's not that old.
you're kidding. It came out. The PlayStation 5 came out this year, didn't it?
The PlayStation 5 came out like last November,
Oh.
so it's over a year. But Ratchet and Clank, that was like June, man.
No. Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was just looking at that fantasy critic thing, and I saw
Yeah.
that came out in June.
So
That was a good game, though.
what'd you think? Yeah.
I liked it a lot. If
It's
you're a
really-
Ratchet and Clank fan, can you please let us know? Because for some reason, I know like we have played Ratchet and Clank, and I think that's about it. It's never anything that gets talked about. I am going to start fighting for the advocacy of Ratchet and Clank because it's such a good game. It's been like around since the PlayStation 2, and it doesn't seem like anybody has ever played it.
Well, that's the thing, Dan. Is it depends on which console you had when you were a kid. You know.
That is true.
Like we had PS2. I know most people that I know had freaking GameCubes during that time.
Oh, weird champ.
Or
Weird champ
nothing.
activity.
I'm young enough, Dan, where a lot of kids didn't have any console until the Xbox 360.
Oh, that's
So
that's awfully scary.
literally, yeah.
PlayStation 2 was... How old were we when we got... I think I was like 12.
The PlayStation 2, you were 12? No shot.
You think we were younger?
I think we were much younger.
All I remember is opening that thing on Christmas, and they had... Mom and Dad bought Guitar Hero 3 with it. Oh, boy.
Dude, Guitar Hero... Bring back Guitar Hero.
I don't think I would be as into rhythm games as I am if that moment had never happened.
Dude, it's... I fucking love Guitar Hero, dude.
Do you remember when you were younger and you would never play the guitar, you played it on controller?
Dude, because I didn't have the coordination for that shit. It was embarrassing.
That's one of my favorite memories.
I was like, I want to play too, but I couldn't fucking... My little baby hands were
That's
just
what I was
like
gonna
little
just
fucking
say.
meatballs.
Your lack of coordination when you were little, combined with the fact that you have child hands, just was built for disaster. You are a drum or microphone rock band type of guy. Don't let this guy on the
Oh,
guitar.
not now, dude. Not now. Fuck those, dude. I'll play like guitar, or if somebody's already on guitar, I'll do the little fucking bass thing. That's my rock band instrument.
Really? Guitar's your go-to?
Yeah.
I always steer away from the guitar. If I want to play guitar, I'll play Guitar Hero, you know. That was always my MO. I loved drumming. And I'll sing every once in a while. Usually that's what I end up having to do because everybody wants to play an instrument. Nobody wants to sing.
Yeah, no, nobody does. Because that's a thing, like, those other ones you just gotta press buttons, but, like, the microphone, that's, like, on you, you know?
Yeah. And if I ever sing, I'm doing it on expert.
And, like, yeah, one of the, like, top things I feel like people are most self-conscious about is a singing voice.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
that, I don't think that works out very well either.
I think you just have to like be an idiot when you do it. That was always my thing. Especially if we did stupid songs.
You've got to kind of, like, deflect it off of you.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I was just messing around, dude. Like,
There was a song
you don't want to show them that it's just, like, singing, you know?
Well, my issue is I sing bass, which is the lowest part. So a lot of them I can't hit. So a lot of them I just have to take down the octave, and it doesn't sound that good.
No.
Elvis Presley I could always do. Or if you do female songs, you can do your falsetto, and then it's funny.
There you go. Yeah, true.
Yeah. And if you screw up, you have the excuse. You're like, it's falsetto. I can't really hit those notes with my actual voice.
It's not my real voice, dude.
We're just screwing around. We're just
We're just having fun, bro.
We're just having fun.
I don't know. It's like the karaoke type thing, I guess. Maybe.
True. Yeah. I
Have you ever? I don't think I've ever done karaoke yet.
No, I don't think I ever want to. No, I had to one night. It was. I'm pretty sure it was New Year's Eve. I went out with Josh and his girlfriend and some friends, and they wanted us to go do. Oh, this was. Okay, this is my biggest conundrum. Okay, that consistently happens to me for whatever reason. They said, "Do you guys know Mr. Brightside?" Which I always think, because I don't ever think about it. I assume it's Mr. Blue Sky.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you said that. I'm the exact same way. Literally, somebody said Mr. Brightside, and I thought they were talking about Mr. Blue Sky for so long.
Apparently, there's this whole vein of kids our age who grew up with that song for whatever reason. It's sad. I feel very, very sad. Like, you need to talk to somebody if you grew up with that song, because it's just such an angsty song. Coming out of my cage. Like, I don't. But then you listen to Mr. Blue Sky. It's such a beautiful song. All of the cascading crescendos and beautiful parts of that song.
I think it was my junior year of high school. Oh wait, actually, dude, this is resurfacing the one memory I have of karaoke when I came to the University of Iowa for a camp, and the only song I've done karaoke on is Tequila. Where we just stood up there awkwardly and coughed into the mic and shit, and then said Tequila 4 or 5 times.
Was this a university sponsored event?
It was they paid, the university paid for us to just be chilling there fucking doing tequila.
See, that's
the type of
I
was in high school, but I was here for a camp doing that. And
the writers.
And that was also when I had the Mr. Brightside realization, because somebody said I'll do Mr. Brightside. I was like, oh dude, I'm gonna hear that little upbeat dun 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 dun, the Mr. Blue Sky thing. And then I heard something completely different, and I was like, what the fuck?
The intro's kind of, it's scary. It's
I don't even remember the intro to it.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't, we need to, that's another thing that we need to start shining a light on. Ratchet and Clank, and the fact that there is a group of people out there who confuse Mr. Brightside with Mr. Blue Sky.
Here's the thing, Dennis. Do you think there's a group, or do you think we are the group?
No, there's definitely.
That's it.
Because I think Josh was the same way that night. Because I'm pretty sure he was like, oh, that's the song that was in Guardians, right? I was like, yeah. But we were.
Dude, you accidentally gaslit him?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Is it gaslighting if I'm also somewhat gaslit?
Maybe not. Dude, who do you maybe our parents just screwed up with that and taught us that. And then we just have this in our heads now.
I don't know how it could have happened. Is it just because it's because they're both Misters and they both start with a B, right?
I think that's part of it.
It's got to be. And the fact that I never listened to Mr. Brightside.
Oh, you definitely had heard, because I definitely had heard it before.
Yeah, that's true. I'd heard it.
I think I'd connected it with not Mr. Brightside.
I think what it was is the girls who wanted to go do it acted like it was this really popular song. Right?
It is, though. To everyone else, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, I think, is that they made it seem so popular, and I didn't think Mr. Brightside, the actual song by the Killers, was that popular of a song. So I was like, oh, this is the really popular song that I know, that everybody knows. And then we get up there, and it comes up with the words "coming out of my cage," and I'll be doing just fine or something. And I'm like, that's not Mr. Blue Sky. Mr. Blue Sky starts out with a nice piano melody.
It seems like it doesn't make sense to me. How does everyone but us
Is it a
seems like
Mandela effect just for
find
us?
this. We have our own personal Mandela effect for fucking Mr. Blue Sky.
You know how fucking bonkers of an idea the Mandela effect is?
Explain it to me again, because I know what it is, but like
What the Mandela effect is?
Yeah.
It's where should I look it up? The Mandela, yeah, here is the actual my shorthand of it is like you like misremembering something as an entire populace, so that just becomes like what it actually is
Oh,
in
gotcha.
your mind. But what verywellmind.com says is the Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. Looking at the origin of the Mandela effect, some famous examples, as well as some potential explanations of this strange confluence of perceptions, can help to shed light on the unique phenomenon. I wanted to find, this is like the big one, is Luke, I am your father. Is because like that's like what everybody remembers it as, the part before like Luke gets his arm cut off and jumps off the thing in Star Wars. Spoilers if you haven't seen that movie yet, I guess. But everyone remembers Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father," but the line is actually, "No, I am your father."
What the fuck? I've never seen the movie, so that's just what it is to me.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. So how do you think you pronounce the book with those bears? Do you remember that? The Berenstain Bears?
Oh, the Berenstain Bears? Yeah.
It's actually the Berenstain Bears.
I've never been that invested in that one. To be fair.
I definitely wasn't either. Oscar Mayer is apparently a big one.
What do you mean?
What is it? Some people think it's spelled Meyer of Oscar Mayer is spelled Meyer, but it's actually Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this one's kind of weird. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. A lot of people remember the line "Mirror, mirror on the wall," but I guess it's actually "Magic mirror on the wall."
Whack. That one's actually weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've never watched Snow White, but I mean, I did think
Everyone knows that line, though, yeah.
Everyone's heard that.
Everyone
but
thought they knew that line.
I think that's what a lot of it is people haven't consumed the media, or like they don't know that situation, so they just take what everyone else says as like the truth. So then just generations after generation has just absolutely torn apart what this thing actually is.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
I forgot
anything like
Looney
that,
Tunes is one too. Everyone thinks it's TOONS because they're cartoons, but it's actually TUNES.
I think I knew that one. Maybe not,
Because of
though.
the music. I remember hearing that one.
Dude, I still can't believe Space Jam 2 was this year.
Everything that was this year that happened.
Yeah, that was only like 5 months ago, man. That was not that long ago.
It's weird. I think this year is just going to be like, but I feel like that's every year for me, because I just don't pay enough attention to stuff, and the days just kind of go by, so I forget what happened this year and what didn't.
Yeah, it's weird. Dude, we'll have to do like a best of the year thing.
So we got to do a wrapped up. That's what we're going to do.
Little awards show.
When are we going to do that? The last episode of December, I forgot we were going to talk about our Spotify Wrapped, and I forgot that just came out.
We're going to be late on the Spotify Wrapped train. It's okay. I'm too embarrassed. I keep that under wraps, man.
I was.
Did you see the tweet that I retweeted from that?
I did not see it.
It was a tweet from Twitter user Viking, and he said, You're not allowed to call your Spotify Wrapped embarrassing if you're posting a screenshot of it. If it were truly embarrassing, you'd keep that shit locked down like the rest of us. And he's spitting.
Yeah, that's true.
He's spitting with that one.
That is true. I forgot. I know we're running up on time here, but I watched the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie that came out on Disney Plus.
How did that just come up now, Dan?
Dude, there was if that is only the first book, there's so much more that happened in the first book than I thought. I thought it was more spread out.
There's a lot that happens, man.
Like Rowley breaks his fucking arm, or Greg breaks his arm, and then like gets mad at him because Greg doesn't get any of the benefit from it. Like the girls are all over Rowley at lunch and feeding him lunch, and Greg's just like, I'm the guy who broke his arm, so
you should be thanking me.
Yeah, you guys should be thanking. And then they throw food at him.
What did you think of the animation style? I know it's.
I love the anime. It was way better than the live action, right?
Yeah.
It didn't take much.
That was such a bad idea.
No, it definitely was not good. Holly wasn't in the movie for whatever reason, which I didn't like, because that's like a lot of the reason that Greg acts like an idiot is to impress Holly.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember anything in these books, Dan.
Well, okay, my least favorite thing about it was that the one thing that I really remember from the books is the invisible Shirag little bit that they do, where Shirag Gupta is getting on Greg's nerves. So I thought it was for a few days or for a week. They just act like Shirag is invisible. And then he does something to Greg, whether he punches him or eats part of his lunch or something, for him to finally admit that Shirag is not invisible. But they didn't have that. They had it for 3 minutes in the live action one, but Shirag is only in this movie for 2 minutes, for the part where he becomes friends with Rowley because Greg is an asshole. I think that's kind of been a big theme this episode, is for some reason book media characters can just get away with being unrealistic assholes. Greg can do all this stuff to Rowley, and Rowley just forgives him and is a nice guy, and
dude,
Zach
that's
Morris
true.
is this
Greg
terrible
is an asshole.
person. It's unbelievable to me. But
all right, well, what do you say we close this chapter on our diary here, Dan?
I'm not a wimpy kid, but
yeah, maybe not you.
You're a wimpy kid?
I think we're both wimpy kids. You're just too much of a wimp to admit it, Dan, which makes you the bigger wimp.
Wow. Okay. If there's a retelling of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I'll be Greg. You can be Fregley. All right.
Fregley, dude.
Yeah.
Can I at least be Manny? He's the fan favorite.
No, you're not young enough.
And I'm the younger brother, dude.
That is true. Yeah, but we're all too close in age. I'll be Roderick. You can be Greg.
Okay. We can compromise on that.
Jeff Kinney, if you're listening, go ahead and get started on that casting. We'll work on our roles up until you give us that casting time, and we'll take a look at what we see in the entertainment world and probably talk about some West Side Story next week. But
sounds good.
That'll do it for episode 5, and we'll see you next week.